This is what a blown claw coil looks like. This is actually what goes inside the claw mechanism, inside a plush toy crane or a candy crane or similar device. And what it does, this is an electromagnet. When it's energized, today we're going to talk a little bit about claw machine coils, and I'm going to demonstrate one for you. So as the claw drops, it bottoms out, and as soon as it reaches the bottom, an electromagnet energizes with about 60 volts DC, depending on the difficulty setting of the machine. It can be anywhere from like 40 to 60 volts. And this is what they look like. This is a blown coil. This came out of a candy crane. I didn't mention this or do any videos of it yet, but I actually got a candy crane for my parents' house. I paid $100 for it. It was a basket case, and hey, how you doing? Nice day, huh? Anyway, so, anyway, I bought this machine, and, you didn't see that, and, set it up and everything, and, tried to figure out how many different problems it had, and one of the problems was, when I went to go when I finally got it started up, and I went to go pick up a pile of candy with it, the, lower part of the cabinet filled with smoke, and there was smoke pouring out of everywhere. What had happened was this coil had shorted out and took out like 2 or 3 diodes and a capacitor in the process. The board was fixable, but I contacted the gentleman I bought the machine from, and he actually gave me another board that had been tested, and so I put that in. I disconnected the claw coil, and I did some external tests on it, and it looks like everything is working okay. I'm getting 60 volts at the claw coil point, and all is right in this world. So what we're going to do right now is I'm going to just see if this thing had shorted out and actually opened up, or if it still has any resistance to it. I think it had about 4 ohms when I checked it, and not really sure if that's still true. So this is one of those fully manual meters, not an auto ranger, which really sucks, but let's see. Let's just use my auto ranger because I don't know what the value is going to be. Paid quite a bit for this meter, but it does the job. So anyway, let's see what the resistance is on this coil. And let's see, I'll just tell you what it reads. This coil is wide open. No, wait. I should set up my little tripod, but screw that. Alright, are we open? 3.2 ohms. Yowzer. Now this one, this is the replacement coil. I got this on eBay for about $20, and is actually the same coil that is in my claw machine. Now every machine has a different coil. They come in several different resistance reading levels, but this is just one of many. I think this is rated for 30 ohms. Let's see what it comes up to. Depending on the number of windings the resistance will fluctuate. I believe the more windings, the more powerful the magnet. So if you're lifting candy, then you're going to need more or less power. Let's see here. 30.8 ohms, so I was pretty close. So 30.8 ohms out of this coil, and this is the one that's going to replace it. Now let's talk a little bit about coil wiring. This is the coil that came out of my Betson Big Choice. This I believe to be the original cord, and it is all saggy and stretched. It's useless, because what happens is it just gets caught in the claw as it's coming down, and that's no fun. So I took that out, and I actually took the coil from the candy crane, and not the coil, sorry, but the cable from the candy crane, and I fixed it to my machine. So now mine's fixed. Pretty permanently too. Okay, so you want to make sure that the cable doesn't get caught in the claw. Like that. See? That's how it's supposed to be. So I went ahead and priced out some new cables, and they seem to cost about $60 for the cable. But while I was looking through my parts bins, I found some old cell phone chargers. This is the Motorola charger that I bought for my old phone. And look at that. That'll do the exact same job for next to no money. This one's a little bit tighter, a little bit thinner too. So what I'm going to do is cut the ends off of these and see if one of them has... They're probably going to be coaxially, not coaxially, but there'll be a center cable with an outer sheath, which we'll have to separate and use shrink tubing to, you know. So let's crack them open and see what we got here. We're going to start with this one. Cut it off. I don't ever need this charger anymore. Okay, it looks like I was wrong. This one has two distinct wires in there. Here's what we want to see. It's easier to work with that way. But difficult to strip because the wiring is so thin. You've got to kind of nibble at it a little bit. You know, you can't see that, but trust me, we're nibbling away. Okay. You don't need to strip back a whole lot of insulation, just a little bit. Yeah, that's not working for me. My cutters are wearing out here. There we go. Okay, so the goal here is to strip away just enough so that we can solder it onto the coil. But we're not going to end there. We're actually going to throw some, actually I may not even need to, but throw some shrink tubing on there to stiffen it up a little bit. We also want to place a, once we get it installed in the machine, we need to put a wire tie at the end so that it doesn't get pulled out of the claw housing. So, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to place my shrink tubing, and I'm going to get it soldered on. So I got to warm up my iron. You don't want too many irons in the fire. That's not the... It didn't make any sense, did it? I didn't think so. Alrighty. While I'm waiting for the iron to warm up, let's go ahead and have some fun. Blue Dog corner pocket. No, I guess not. I have the volume turned way down on this thing, so it's really distracting. Oh, I just won all these. Alright, let's get the bear. I actually won the bear in a real claw machine in a laundromat just recently. Come on, come on. Oh, yeah. Aw, damn it. I got you now. Leela likes to watch, apparently. And, yeah, so... yeah, you suck. Oh, yes, yes, yes. There it is. Oh, that's not what I want. I'm gonna put those back up there. Alright. Hey. Anyway, let's see. Hot enough to melt solder yet? Yep. Alright. Done. So now, when I'm ready to put this into the machine, I'm just going to affix a zip tie to about here, and that'll prevent it from being pulled out of the housing. Now this is the end that goes into the car head, or no, this is, well, the, you know, right here, the power outlet for the coil. And what we're going to do here is we're going to strip back twice the length we need, fold it over, and then solder it, which will give us a nice flat surface to for the lug to bite into when it's screwed in. So we stripped it back and we folded it over. Now we have to basically dip both wires in solder. So this claw coil is essentially ready to install, with a total budget cost of $20. For the coil, the charger cable was our free part, and of course we've got one zip tie there. That's about 10 cents. And that's how you can fix these pretty quickly and cheaply. And I'm going to install this tomorrow. Yep, that's it. Should be ready to go. After I had taken this assembly apart, I discovered that my coil had been replaced very recently. It actually has the exact same coil in the housing with the same paper label and the same model number. Pretty cool. Alright, I'm going to shut this video down, and we're going to resume tomorrow at my parents' house. Yep, it's a candy crane. This is actually a long overdue video. Very, very long overdue. My mom, for some reason, wanted a claw machine. And when she found out that I got one, she's like, ooh, I want one too. So I went back to the guy I got my machine from, and I worked out a deal with him. And I bought this for $100. It was in non-working condition. I think I paid a little more than I should have. But anyway, we'll plug it in. Doing this little self-check. So, candy crane machines differ slightly from typical claw machines. Ew, there's candy stuck to this. Anyway. Clean that up. They're designed as guaranteed payout machines, meaning you can't lose. You win something every time. So this one here, I'll tell you what was wrong with it. When I got it, the claw coil was burned out. The main board had some blown up circuitry I had to rebuild, and it was in rough shape. I didn't do any cosmetic work to it. I just did a mechanical and functional repair job. That's pretty much all that's been done to it. Cleaned it up a little bit inside. It was really dirty. But inside here is the main board. The one that I'm pointing at is the one I had to fix. And yeah, it was just I just wanted to get this thing running so that my mom could use it. It's mainly for my cousins who are small children. They come over, they visit. They want something to do while they're sitting here. So this is what this is all about. Pretty much it. I mean, it's in rough shape. I mean, the trim is kind of falling apart. You know, structurally it's all there, but it's just not pretty. So, anyway, to make these machines guaranteed payout machines, they have an electric eye right here that senses anything that falls down. Unfortunately, the electric eye on this machine does not work. And I've tried everything to get it working, and I just can't do it. It's going to require some parts replacement, and that's pretty much that. So here we have the main power switch, and this coil here is what controls the I believe that's the one that controls the claw, and there's a potentiometer right there, a big giant one, and that controls the claw power. When I first got this running, I didn't know there was a short in the claw coil, so I started to smell something really funny, and then I heard like a loud bang, and smoke started pouring out from inside the cabinet. It turns out I had burnt out the, I believe it was the transistor in the claw circuit. And so I had to and I melted some of the land on the board, so that all had to be rebuilt. And it's working now. Also, there was a lot of wiring and switch problems up in here. So I had to replace 2 switches, and to redo some wiring, and I had to reattach the metal coil that supports the cable going to the car. That wasn't even supported, it was being held up by the wire itself, so that was in rough shape. The coin mechanisms both had to be repaired. The doors, it's really it's in rough shape. I mean, this is a kind of a bargain basement version of a restorable machine. I mean, this thing is in rough shape, but it works. It works really well. We had a party over here last weekend. And mind you, before that party, this machine was practically full. My cousins cleaned it out. It took them about 8 hours, actually. One of my cousins played this game. Now, she's like 10. She played this machine non-stop for almost 8 hours. I mean, I couldn't believe it. And the thing never missed a beat. It ran just fine. We now have to scrape all the candy from the floor using like hot water. I think we'll do just fine. But it's all there. It's all working. So let's go ahead and demonstrate it. Oh, I think I didn't lock it up. Now, the fan is there for a reason. What it does, come on, there we go. What the fan does is it keeps air moving through the machine to prevent any excessive buildup of moisture. It's to prevent the candy from going bad as quickly. So when it's in an air-conditioned environment, it moves all the hot, stale air from the machine and pulls in the air-conditioned air. Isn't that right, Zach? That's right, isn't it? So let's play the game. Because the electric eye doesn't work, it never goes out of gameplay. It never thinks you're winning anything. So it never senses anything dropping, so therefore it's forever stuck in a game loop. So it won't accept tokens or coins. Anyway, so as I mentioned, I replaced the claw coil, and I replaced this wire as well. This is actually an old cell phone charger cable. Works pretty well. Lubricated the mechanism, cleaned it up, replaced the new, it's got a new string in it. But, yeah, it's kind of hammered. Needs new light bulbs, you know. But my goal in this project was really not to make it nice again, but just make it work. So that way it could be a fun little toy for the kids. Candy crane. This was made by Smart Industries. Real smart. We'll lock it up again. Hey buddy, how you doing? So now you gotta clean it up and refill it. If that. Yeah. Could use some cosmetic work.